Welcome back. Today we're going to look at something a little unusual for my channel. This is a modern piece of electronic gadgetry. This is the $29 tablet that Walmart offered for Black Friday of 2016. Yeah, I know. Black Friday. It's where a bunch of angry shoppers go to buy stuff they don't need. Generally lower quality versions at marked down prices of what they would normally buy. But because of the excitement of it all, they end up spending money that they would not have otherwise spent for people that they don't even like. That's Black Friday in a nutshell. I actually went Black Friday shopping with my family, and it was, after Thanksgiving. My cousins were over, my sister was over, my mom was there, my dad was there. Everyone's all, we're like, yeah, let's go to Walmart. So we did. And I bought this. Why? Well, it was 29 bucks, and it's hard to say no to a $29 Android tablet. And I had an actual reason to buy this. It was mainly to learn Android. I have never really used Android. I use an iPhone. At the time, I was still using a Mac PowerBook, and I kind of wanted to migrate away from the Mac environment, the Apple ecosystem. So I bought this as an entry-level Android tablet. So let's take a look at what it has to offer. I pretty much forgot I owned this. I found it under the couch when I was cleaning today. And let's see, I'll get it unlocked. Put in my magic code. There we go. And all right. I think my sister bought one of these for her kid. Who's now 3 years old, and I don't even know if he uses it or not. Probably broke it already. But right out of the gate, now as someone who services iPads like all the time, I don't hate this thing because it has a plastic digitizer that won't break. It has a very fake and crappy feel to it. I mean, your finger kind of drags. There's no lubricity on the surface. It's just it feels cheap. It sounds and feels as cheap as it is, I'll be honest. Let's take another look. Let's take it out of the $7 optional case that I bought. And we'll take a look at, I mean, it's got a fairly hollow feel to it. And one of the things that bothers me about this is the battery life, which is why I kind of stopped using it, because it would only last like 1 or 2 hours. I mean, it really wasn't that great. Maybe 2 to 3 hours. Average usage. Where an iPad would last, 8 hours, this thing goes about a fraction of that. Like I said, 1 to 2 hours. The onboard speaker is not, strategically placed in some fancy-ass way. It's just on the back with holes drilled through the back of it. I mean, it is cheap. You get what you pay for. If I wanted something better, I would have bought I think they had a Galaxy tablet for 80 bucks or something, but I didn't want to spend the money. I gotta unlock it again. Son of a bitch. Here we go. So where were we? The display is poor. Fairly low quality, low resolution display. I forget what the exact resolution was on the screen, but the image quality is, well, lackluster and not particular. Like, if you're used to using Apple products and Samsung and other brand name products like maybe a Nexus or something, you would be very disappointed to see this. It's just bland. I mean, the colors aren't particularly eye-popping. The image is kind of grainy. But once again, this is a $29 tablet. Let's take a look at how the onboard speaker sounds. There's only one speaker. So as far as if I recall, it had 1 gigabyte of onboard RAM, 16 gigabytes of onboard storage, and what else? Really, that's all I remember. Oh, it was an Intel Atom processor. I forget which one though. But in this video, we're going to tear this thing apart and see what's really inside, because I am kind of curious. So let's see how this onboard speaker sounds. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's not unacceptably slow either. But like I said, if you were looking for some inexpensive tablet to kick around the house, this isn't that bad. I've got it logged into my Google account. I'm able to read my email, open up almost everything in my bookmarks page that I can open up on my laptop. And I still have no sound. What's going on? Is it not playing? Here, let's turn the volume up. Ooh, it's the alarm volume. So it does have a couple of nice little hard switches on the side. Look, there's a volume rocker on the bottom, or this would be the bottom edge. There's a power switch. It does offer a dedicated 5-volt power input, so you can still use USB accessories while you're charging it, which is kind of nice. You can't even do that on an iPad. There is, of course, a stereo headphone jack and a micro SD slot. So, yeah. There's 2 exposed screws holding it together. Let's try that again. It didn't load that. Sometimes the internet doesn't like this, I guess. I don't know. But I'm getting used to the Android OS. This is running Marshmallow. And I'm not even sure if it can be upgraded beyond that. Come on. Yeah. This particular Fusion Jazz web-based player doesn't always work. Even on the, it's sometimes a little doggish. Come on now. Volume's all the way up. All right, let's cancel that. Oops, I'm gonna just hit X on that. All right, cool. I did download an Android app for it. I bought one app just to see how I liked it, and it was the Solitile Ultra game, which is one of my favorites. This game I have found has been ported to nearly every operating system by its original creator. It's available for Mac, Windows, DOS, Android, iOS. Basically every industry standard OS except for Apple, ProDOS. It'll work in just fine. Let's do a new board. Let's see, is there a new board option? Restart, there it is. So the object of this game, come on, yes, it's being stupid. The object of this game is similar to Mahjong, where you actually find matching tiles. Oh, there it goes. It remembers every tap I just made. Nice. Okay, I get it. Tiles blocked. So what you got to do is select matching tiles like these 2 windows here, this, and they disappear just like that. Then we're going to do the watch and the watch over here. It's a great game for wasting time. It's a lot of fun, and I have it on my iPhone. I occasionally play it, usually while I'm eating lunch and ignoring my coworkers that are with me talking to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm in my own little zone. Leave me alone. We'll talk after lunch. Okay. There we go. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. So that was one game that I downloaded. Just trying to see how the Android ecosystem is, what I do and don't like about it. I haven't really dug deep enough into it to form a real opinion, so to speak. But so how did we get out of this game? Let's see. I think there was because there's no, like, on the iOS devices, there's a home button. You press the home button. Power switch turns it off. Oh, that works. Now I gotta unlock it again. Alright. You didn't come here to watch me play with a $30 tablet. You came to watch me tear a $30 tablet apart, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Non-destructive, by the way. I want this thing to actually work. I have a use for it, I think. But one more thing I want to mention. Oh yeah, it does have a built-in forward-facing camera, and it is bloody awful. Let me see if I can pull that up and show you just how bad that is. It's one of the worst cameras I've ever experienced in my life. But again, reminding myself, this thing costs 30 bucks, and it pretty much is, if someone did not have the money to buy a computer, you could get them one of these, and they would be satisfied with it, I think. I mean, really. It's everything you need for 30 bucks. If you just do casual web browsing, email, you don't need much more than this. And I say this, I mean, I've owned hundreds of computers in my life, and I service them for a living. I would be okay. If this was the only computer I had, I would be okay with that. Believe it or not. And it's hard saying that because, I mean, I have, you know, a nearly $1,500 laptop sitting next to me. I've got, I use, you know, $2,500 Apple laptops at work daily. But I would be okay with this. This cheap little $30 tablet. It's amazing. I can even use Plex on it. Let me see if I can queue up a movie. I've got, yeah, I did actually install Plex on this. Let's see if my Plex server's up. I know it's running. There it is. It sees it. Direct connection unavailable. What? Okay, well, it won't play it. Let's see if here's a friend server. It won't connect to that one either. It wants to use the local one. The screen smudges real easily too. Is this thing not on wireless right now? I think that might be the problem. Let me take a look in the control panel. It might be disconnected. Wi-Fi is off. Well, that'll do it. No wonder we're having so many issues. I don't know why Wi-Fi would be turned off, but okay. I'll play. Well, unfortunately, Wi-Fi will not turn back on. I don't know why. I don't particularly care why, but I guess that's why it was only $30, right? Or $28. So yeah, that happened. Not sure what's going on there. I restarted it. I did a full reset on it, and it will not turn on. There's no hard switch on the Wi-Fi anywhere, which kind of blows my mind. But yeah, so that happened. So I can't use this thing as it was intended. What's left to do? Yeah. Let's tear it apart, shall we? All right. When this thing did work, one of the complaints I had was the touchscreen was horribly inaccurate, and partly because of its poor construction. It has like probably 1/32 of an inch between the surface of the LCD panel and the undersurface of the plastic touchscreen. Then there's the thickness of the touchscreen, which is pretty thick. Let's start off by taking that off, and we'll get a better look at it. I'm going to shut it off so I don't see. The touchscreen, by the way, I mean, it's definitely plastic, which is good because if you buy this for your kids, they're less likely to break it. But oh yeah, that's totally a plastic touchscreen, I'll tell you. See if I can get a better get the camera up closer. You can see this. And there's not much holding it together. Just a little bit of adhesive. To disassemble the body of the device, all we have to do is remove 2 screws. Let's do that first. Let's take the screws out. We'll get the unit ripped apart, and then we'll worry about the touch screen. I want to get a better look at how it's put together. So, unfortunately, with Wi-Fi being what it is, I can't use this as intended. But when it did work, I assure you, I could stream movies with this right off my Plex server with ease. So you don't need all that much power, really, to get that done. So we're going to use a black stick, and we're going to just gently pry the back cover off. It's not so hard. It's not really putting up much of a fight, which makes it pretty easy to service. And I have, let's see, yeah, all right, now we're in. Now let's take a good look at, tell me what's wrong with that picture. Can you guys tell me what is wrong with that picture? Remember, one of my biggest complaints was poor battery life. Look at the size of that battery. Are you kidding me? Again, 30 bucks, can't complain. But this is a 2,000 milliamp hour battery. That's it. That's all they give you. So that explains the horrible battery life. Let's disconnect the battery to avoid any further damage to the circuitry. And let's get a good look at that board. This is what's inside your $30 tablet. Now, there's nothing really ultimately wrong with that board. It's simple layout. Let's pop these RF shields off and get a good look at what's in there. They're not soldered in place, so you can just take them off real easily. But this does lend a possible upgrade solution. You could stuff a bigger battery in this thing. Just wire it correctly, and you could have a bigger battery, potentially. Something bigger than 2,000 milliamp hours. You could have something bigger than that, easily. So let's identify what these chips are. And I'm going to read off what they are, then we're going to look up what the specs are. I think I already did that. In all full disclosure, I've had this apart once before in preparation for this video. That's how I knew what to do. That's how I cheated. I'm a cheater. It has two SpecTech PE029-125 DDR3 RAM modules. They're right here. For a combined total of 1 GB of RAM, I believe. Now, I looked up the specs on these chips, and they don't appear to be 512 meg modules, but I guess they are somehow. I don't know how that works. From what I'm finding, they're supposed to be, I believe, 4 gigs each. Not, I might have gotten the wrong part number looked up, or mixed them up somehow, so I think that was my fault. It does feature an Intel PMB 8016-P20 processor. This is a quad-core Atom processor, and the corresponding chipset that also does, I believe, video, audio, Wi-Fi. It's all in one chip. It's like a computer on a chip. The Intel PMB 9102. That is the companion chip to the Intel Atom processor. Now over here we have a BiWin NAND chip. This is our 16 gigabytes of onboard storage. And the part number on that is BWC-TASC-21G16G. And over here is a Rockchip power management chip. So if you're having power management issues, I would start looking in this region here. This little guy right over here is our touchscreen control chip. And that is a Silede. Let's get it under the right light here. GSL1680. And over here is our reset switch, which it's actually right in line with the reset hole on the back of the cover here. Let's take the board off. One of the interesting little tidbits I found is the Wi-Fi antenna is soldered in place. They didn't use one of those little mini micro coax plugs. They just soldered it in place. Like, they're like, no one's gonna fix this shit. Well, here we are. I'm not gonna fix this thing because I really don't care. I mean, honest to God, I found this under my couch. I forgot I even owned it. It was like, whatever. It's one of those things it served its purpose. I realize that I do actually enjoy Android, and I have no problem you know, switching to an Android phone when my iPhone blows up, which will happen eventually. I don't know how that phone still works. It's been dropped. It was in a motorcycle accident. Got thrown out of my pocket, hit the pavement. Still works. Never broke a screen. So we can get the board off completely, except for the antenna lead, which maybe the antenna can be removed easily. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's just a tape antenna. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just a little piece of tape with some just printed. That's it. That's your Wi-Fi antenna. That's it. I guess you don't need much more than that, do you? So, there's our board. This board, by the way, was manufactured by Edong, which is a Chinese conglomerate that makes phones, tablets, and a lot of no-name stuff. I bet most of their electronics can be found in the U.S. in drugstores under a variety of different names, like Sylvania, perhaps, and a lot of dead brands. By the way, this right here is our sole source of heat dispersion for the processor, and here is this is our thermal conductive pad. Now these are used all throughout the industry for a variety of electronics. I know that most Chromebooks use these as heat conductors for the processors, so I know that for a fact. Ask me how I know. But no, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how they do it. Here's the tiny little micro cam. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to show how bad the camera is. But here it is. Here's the camera. It is. Let's see if I can pull any manufacturing info off the back of it. I'll pull the adhesive tape off. Let's see here. No, there's nothing on there. But it is very low resolution. I mean, it'll do the job if you're just doing you know, video chat with your buddy or whatever. But if you're going to be making YouTube videos, this is not the unit for you. So now we're down to the front panel. Now this front panel, which contains the display and the battery and that speaker, by the way, it uses the entire body of the device as like an acoustic chamber. So it has a surprisingly deep sound to it, but it's a fake and tinny sound that's been magnified in a way. It doesn't sound great. I think you heard some of it, but it sounds out of place. Something doesn't sound right with this thing, but it does the job and it does it well. At least it like I said, it's a $30 tablet. And I meant it. When I said I would be okay with something like this as my only computing device, I was serious. I mean, it's durable enough. It looks like it would handle some abuse because of its low precision build. It has a feeling like it has like it's like it could potentially take a few heavy drops before something bad happens. So now we're down to the LCD panel, which weighs a lot. Look at how thick that panel is. That is an old panel. Very old technology. Definitely an LED backlight, of course, naturally. And now that brings us to the front cover and the digitizer, which, like I said, is, you know, that might actually be glass. Let's find out. Let's find out. I mean, the thing is pretty much done for anyway, so why waste any time doing this right? It does kind of, it sounds like it could be glass. Let's put it over the trash can, and we're going to take something heavy here. I'll just use a screwdriver and I'll try to smash it. Here we go. Oh, that's glass. It is glass. There's no way that's not glass. It is. I'll be goddamned. That's a glass digitizer. It just feels kind of cheap. That's all. see how it breaks. Not very easily. But I'm surprised, really. It's putting up a bit of a fight. Yes, that is a Lunchable container. Don't judge me. It's not breaking. At all. But, oh, that's definitely glass. So that answers that question. Alright, so I was wrong. The digitizer is glass, but it's fairly thick glass. Okay, what do we have for an LCD panel? If I can get this RF shield off of it, it shouldn't be too hard to do. Just pull the tape off, right? We can... No, you know what? That's not going to get us anywhere. But I have a better idea. That wasn't the reaction I was looking for. A little smoke here and there, but... Damn. Well, there's that. It's actually getting kind of warm, but there you have it. $30 tablet. Seriously? I was all worried that it was going to blow up. Oh, I found the part number for the screen. That's helpful. The battery is kind of hot though. I'm going to leave it out here until it discharges itself. And that's a good place for it right there. Anyway, let's take a look at this panel. So here's the part number for the panel. Very vague. But there you go. And that's the end of the $30 tablet. Yeah, I didn't want to destroy it. I actually kind of wanted it to... but when I found out that the wireless was not working anymore, I'm like, yeah, screw this. And the battery life was awful, and I have better stuff I could use that's 3 times as old, but still functional. It does a better job than that thing ever did. So, anyway, that's it. And we'll go ahead and I'll get this video uploaded. Oh! While we're here, for those of you who watch my stuff, I have had some issues with this new laptop after the Windows 10 Creator update. Now, initially, when I noticed that things weren't so great, it involved mostly Google Chrome, Pinnacle Studios, Pinnacle Studio 20 that I use to edit my videos now. There were some other glitches here and there that were driving me crazy, and having to restart a computer every single day is not a solution to my problem. So I went to go roll it back to the previous build, and that caused even more problems. I had phantom applications that I had already removed reappear and couldn't be removed without digging through the registry, and there were some other just weird things going on. So, like, my mouse wouldn't work half the time. So then I'm like, alright, well, it's time for a clean build, and that's when I did a complete clean build on this laptop. So I downloaded Windows 10 from Microsoft, the USB thumb drive ISO image. Rebuilt it from that, reinstalled the drivers. Things were going okay, except for Google Chrome. Still isn't working correctly. It'll freeze up and hang up and all sorts of crap. So I switched to Mozilla Firefox, which solved that problem. And for my email editing, email viewer, I'm using the new version of Thunderbird, which I love. But Pinnacle Studio is still misbehaving. Turns out, Pinnacle Studio 20 is not compatible with the NVIDIA GTX 1060 graphics card that this laptop has, which was one of its main selling points. So I'm using the embedded graphics, the Intel graphics, instead, which defeats the purpose of having whatever. But it works. It works. It's okay. We're good. I just wanted to point out that and I actually did contact Pinnacle, and I said, hey, what's up? And they said, use the embedded graphics. Like, no, that's not the answer I'm looking for. I want an actual fix, damn it. Paid so much money for that software, I want it to freaking work. Oh well. Oh well, here we are. I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Let's get this editing done, and we'll catch you again another time.